What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is day 2 up here at Anglia Car Auctions for their last classic car sale of 2025. So we're going to be looking around these beautiful classics that have been entered into the Sunday sale, and there's plenty of them, including this stunning Renault 5 GT Turbo. This is possibly one of the best examples on the market right now, and we're going to take a look around this and plenty of others in this video. Well, here is the Renault 5 GT Turbo in question. It was registered in 1986. It was off the road for about 20 years, but in 2023, someone gave it a full restoration, which totaled up to over £10,000. The GT Turbo has had an extensive restoration. The respray is just amazing. I can't pick a fault in it. The paintwork is like glass, it's amazing. It's also had the underside refreshed, the engine has been serviced, new tyres and bits and bobs like that. But the interior is still completely original. This hasn't been touched. And the reason why the interior looks so good is because this has only covered 60,000 miles. It's quite hard to explain, but the Renault 5 just looks perfect. All the plastics are in this really nice dark grey. They almost look brand new. They're not faded, they're not broken, they're not cracked. All the badges look perfect. It's also got the original dealer number plates with it, dealer rear window sticker as well. I just absolutely love this, and whoever's done the restoration has done a smashing job. The engine bay just looks right as well. Doesn't look like it's been tarted up too much at all, just looks quite genuine and original, dare I say it. I'm not quite sure if the engine was taken out and the engine bay resprayed, but it seems like it hasn't because it's still got a few original stickers in there. I'd say this is probably still on its original coat of paint in here. Obviously the bodywork has been sprayed. Now this has got valid MOT until April 2026, and the most important thing about this is it's offered as a no reserve, which is really interesting, and let's find out what it goes for.
At 15,000, 15,800. At 15,800, 16,000, I'll take 250 for each frame. At 16,000, 17,500 on the telephone. At 17,500. At £17,500 on the telephone. Find a better example. At £17,500 on the telephone. And in the room, the telephone now at £18,000 it is. At £18,000, looking for one quickly, we're 18,100. Fresh money. £18,100 it is now going twice. My gavel's up and you're buying it at £18,100 for the last. That's yours, 18,100. Your number, please, gentlemen.
I'd now like to introduce this video sponsor, which is Car Vertical. I think this sponsor marries up with my channel perfectly because they do vehicle history checks in over 30 countries using over 900 sources. You can check for past accident damage, mileage discrepancies, theft records, and the financial and legal status of a vehicle that you're potentially purchasing. Car Vertical really is a tool that you can keep in your pocket when purchasing a used vehicle. For instance, let's just take this Vauxhall Brava for example. We're just going to do a Car Vertical check on it, punch in the registration, scroll down, we can see that the mileage is good, the financial and legal status is good, and also there's been no history of damage on this vehicle, but we've got theft and attention underneath it saying that this vehicle may be stolen. Now I know that it's not currently wanted for being stolen, but it was recorded in 2024 as an insurance theft. Car Vertical have been kind enough to offer you viewers 20% off when you use code MITCH. And I just personally think this is such a great tool. I've used Car Vertical before, buying a used car. I actually used it when I purchased my Clio 172 Cup earlier this year, so it's just brilliant. It's a great tool to have in your pocket, and don't forget, use code MITCH for 20% off. How about this then? Up next we're going to be looking around this Mark I Ford Cortina. This was first registered in 1964 and is a GT model. They do get quite a lot of one owner vehicles here at Anglia Car Auctions, but you wouldn't expect this to have one owner from new when looking around it, considering it was built in 1964. Well, that is the case up until 2021. One lady owned this all them years and then sold it in 2021. Saying this, the Cortina does have quite a vague history. It doesn't really have much information that comes with the sale. It did used to be maroon and now it's finished in red, and it's also got the later instrument cluster installed inside. Something tells me you won't be driving this one away from the sale. It's a shame there's really no documentation that comes with the Cortina, because someone's clearly restored this. The engine is in its Ford blue. It must have had a extensive restoration because all of the bay has been sprayed as well. You've got the 1500 pre-crossflow engine in there. Anyway, I really like the look of that, and you don't seem to find these Mark 1 Cortinas too much anymore, especially the GT models. This is estimated £10,000 to £12,000.
Number 2, quick anywhere, 7-2, 7-3, that's 7-3, 7-4, that's 7-4 up in there now, 7-5, that's 7-5, your Alex there, 7-6, 7-7, 7-8, 7-9, that's 9-4, 9-5, 9-6 online. £9,800 it is now going twice. It is just provisional, but I'm sure it'll come at £9,800 it is now for the last 9-8, that is just provisional, but I'm sure that will come.
In the last video on day one of Anglia Car Auctions sale, there was a Granada coupe that we looked around, and there's actually another one today in the Sunday sale. This is a 1974 example. This is a manual example, 3 litre, and the vendor has entered this after owning it for 14 years. The interior of this Granada is far better than the one we looked around in yesterday's video. Really great condition. You can tell someone's looked after this, and there has been quite a lot of money spent, especially on the engine recently. Under the bonnet we find the 3 litre V6 petrol engine, which has been fully rebuilt, including its top and bottom ends, some high performance cams, and these beautiful looking RS rocker covers have been added too. I'm loving looking around the Granada coupe. It's actually been converted from automatic to manual. It's got a 4-speed gearbox, but I'm sure that must be really revving quite high when you get up to 60, 70 miles per hour. So might want a 5-speed or even a 6-speed add into that. The paintwork on the Granada is lovely as well. It's starting to go in a couple of little areas, but it's a great colour and it's shining here in the hall at Anglia Car Auctions today. With an estimate of £8,000 to £10,000, I really don't think that is a lot of money for this old Granada. Shot past the estimate. 12.4, 12.6. It's doing really well. And again, 14.6 right at the last minute. This is from the same sort of era as that Mark 1 Cortina we're just looking around, and even rarer. This is a 1962 Ford Thames 307E van, and I absolutely love these. Proper rare, and we're going to take a look around it. A little bit of bonus information is this Anglia van was actually sold in Kings Lynn to its first owner in 1962, and that owner owned it up until 2006, so quite a long period that first owner had the Anglia van for. Since 2006, the Anglia van has only had one other keeper, so I'm assuming it's only got 2 previous keepers, which makes it a really low owned van. Loving the condition of it. It must have been restored at some point in its life. If not, it certainly had a really easy life. The mileage is showing 39,000 miles, but I don't think that's warranted. And this has also been used in some film productions. Under the bonnet, we find the pre-crossflow engine. This is a 1 litre, tiny little engine, but you know what? It's going to run through the auction, and I bet it still goes well. It's really interesting to look around a van like this, considering the age of it and how rare it is now. Although the estimate for me, it just seems quite reasonable at just £8,000 to £10,000. It'll be hard to find another one in this good condition, so I wouldn't be surprised if this goes over £10,000 when it's in the hall.
That's £9,000. I'll take 2, 9, 2, 9, 4 is with me, 9, 4, I'll take 9, 6, if you go. 9, 4 is with me, sell it away for the £9,400 a second. The final time on the mission
Look at this, tucked away, looking all innocent in the corner. This is a 1994 Nissan Skyline. This is the R33 GT ST, and this was imported or purchased from someone who imports these in the year 2000, and it stayed with the owner since then, so it's actually only got one recorded owner on the V5C. Look how basic it looks inside, but this is an absolute weapon. Taking a look around this, the Skyline looks in really good condition, although it was taken off the road in 2012. That's also when the last MOT was valid until. But the owner has said they have been starting it regularly and it will drive through the auction. So I don't think you'd have too much trouble trying to get this back on the road. And there it is, the heart of the Skyline. This is a straight six 2.5 litre twin cam engine. Literally just goes like stink. I'm not quite sure on the horsepower of this one, but yeah, these are proper rapid. I'm not quite sure, but I think I've got a little bit of a Jap car sort of itch that I need to scratch, because there was a 200 Nissan SX here. I think it was about a year ago, and I really like the look of that as well, and I'm really loving the look of this Skyline. I will be definitely getting a video of this when it starts up. And the estimate here at Anglia Car Auctions this weekend is £10,000 to £15,000. Little bit of a auxiliary belt squeak, but sounds good. Oh, still going up. £15,000 has just reached. Quite a few bidders online and one in the hall. Well, what have we stumbled across now? This is a Mark II Ford Transit minibus, which was first registered on the 1st of March 1985. It's in immaculate condition. It's just so clean. It's only got 3 registered keepers from new. I believe it was owned by a school first, and then it's been sold on throughout the years. But look at this, it's immaculate. Even the headlining just looks so mint. All the seats are in great condition. Now, it doesn't say this on the description, but I actually spotted this the first time I came to Anglia Car Auctions in September 2022, where this minibus sold for £7,000. Look at this rear arch, not a speck of rust on it, and that's the same story for the rest of the bodywork on the Mark II Transit. It really is mint. Just look at the back, show you guys around this. I just can't get over the sheer condition. It's such a retro cool old minibus. There can't be many Mark II Transit minibuses left. With the Transit comes a handwritten notebook detailing every journey that the minibus made between 1995 at 14,000 miles and 2003 when it hit 20,000 miles. And today, in 2025, it's just showing 22,000 miles, making it an incredibly low mileage minibus. In the bay of the minibus is a 2 litre Pinto engine, which hasn't covered many miles at all. Now the MOT on this actually expired back in 2023, but it is now eligible for tax and MOT exemption, but that will need to be applied for before driving it on the roads. Now the estimate on this is £10,000 to £12,000. So someone purchased this 3 years ago for £7,000, and it'd be interesting to see what it makes today.
That's £6,200 on it there now. That's 62, 64, 66, 68, 7,000, 72, 74, 76, 78, £8,000 bid at 82, 84, 86, 88, 9,000 bid, 92, £10,600 that is now going twice. It's in the room and selling outright at 10,600. That's yours, sir. You've seen them off. Thank you.
Come on then. Who remembers working on these old V4 Ford engines, which has been neatly restored and is sitting in the bay of this Mark I Transit? This is a 1974 Transit pickup, which has clearly been restored to a high standard, although there's no accompanying paperwork. You can always tell it's a Mark I Transit from them rear lights. They're pretty iconic in themselves. Now this has got a bit of an interesting story with it. So the vendor purchased it in 2009, but DVLA regard this to be a caravan and its colour is down as red and white. So whoever purchases the Transit is going to have to get in contact with DVLA, notify them that it's now a pickup and of the colour change. I must say though, I'm drooling over this Transit. The wood in the back is just perfect, and so are all of these side panels. They've been restored just as well as the cab up front. Such a clean example. I'm sure this is going to go for quite a bit of money when it goes under the hammer. I am a huge fan of these old school big skinny steering wheels, absolutely love them. The Transit's showing 95,000 miles, although you wouldn't think that. You probably think it has just came out of a showroom because it's in exceptional condition. The steps always go on these Transits, but this one has been completely restored, and you can tell that there is no rust there at all. I've got a lot of time for this Transit. I do love a commercial, and I'm falling in love with this one. It's estimated here at Anglia Car Auctions at £18,000 to £20,000.
It's got a 2-litre petrol engine, spin at £13,000 bid, at 13,500, 14,000, at 14,000, 14,500, 15,000. At £15,000 on bid here now, then 15,000. At £15,000 on bid there now, then £15,000 is provisionally going once. My comes up provisional £15,000 is now for last. 15,000 comes to garage then, you folks.
Next up, we're looking around this true 80s hot hatch in this 1988 Ford Fiesta XR2. Now this was actually entered into Anglia Car Auctions sale this time last year, but it looked completely different. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get it on camera, so I'll insert some pictures of it, but it was in need of a pretty full and extensive restoration, and I was chatting to the successful bidder on the day, and he explained that he was going to completely restore it, and it's great to see it back in Anglia Car Auctions being sold today. This is a real clean and presentable XR2, credit to the owner who has completely restored it. Now the interesting thing about this one is it's only got one owner from new. So the person who purchased this last year put it into the trade, which doesn't add a owner onto the logbook. So it's a one owner from new XR2, and it's only covered something silly like 76,000 miles. So it really hasn't covered much mileage at all. It's nice to see that under the bonnet the inner wings have been repaired to a higher standard, and it's also had a fresh timing belt, 4 new spark plugs, water pump and new radiator. It's a classic Ford with a sunroof, which always gives me the shivers, but luckily this one has no signs of rust blistering or any marks around it, so yeah, I think you're safe with this one for a few more years. It's great to see that the XR2 is back on the road with a MOT until March next year. It's estimated this time at Anglia Car Auctions at £12,000 to £14,000, and I'm sure it will make that, if not exceed, the estimate.
At 12.3, 12.4, at 12.4, 12.5, 12.6, 12.7, 12.8, 12.9, 13,000. £13,000 is sure it is now going twice. My guns up, you're buying it at £13,000. It's yours. 1. 13.1. At 13.1. I was then about to say you've done it. 13,200 for the last. You made it, you got there eventually. 1981. Thank you very much.
It is Sunday here at Anglia Car Auctions, but they do still have a few cars outside which are going to be running through the auction today, including this 1989 BMW E30 Touring. Now, not only do I love a commercial, I love an estate car as well. But this is an estate car with a difference because it's had an engine swap. So the engine is from a BMW 525 TDS, and it's also got the associated gearbox and rear differential to suit. So yeah, it's really cool. The vendor describes it as a original E30 Touring, but it's got the turbo diesel engine from a E24. There is actually a full and detailed write-up, so feel free to pause the video to have a little look what has been done to the E30 Touring, but someone's definitely spent quite a lot of time and money on the conversion. What a treat to have under the bonnet. Now, I know it might not be everyone's cup of tea to have a diesel swapped classic car, but I think this is really cool. So as far as I'm aware, this is a 2.5 litre diesel engine, turbocharged, and there is an intercooler, although you can't see it because it's tucked away underneath that front panel, but I can see a couple of the boost pipes coming back in to the engine bay. So yeah, I think this is really cool. A unique swap that you wouldn't see every day, and it's great that the owner has included a lot of detailed information about the swap. Look how good this E30 Touring looks from the rear. So this is covered 105,000 miles, and the conversion started in 2019 and it carried on for the next 5 years. It's covered about 7,500 miles since the conversion was completely done, and it does come with a advisory-free full year's MOT ticket on it. One thing that the description doesn't state is whether the engine swap has been changed on the logbook and whether it's been changed from a petrol to a diesel, but you can always go into the office here at Anglia Car Auctions and check the documentation that comes with the E30 Touring. Anyway, it's going to go under the hammer shortly, and the estimate on this is £5,000 to £7,000. BMW's starting at 3.5, 3.6. You sometimes hear people refer to classic cars as a 10-yarder, and unfortunately I think that's what we've got here with this Sierra. So this is a 1989 Ford Sierra GLS 2.9i 4x4. This was daily driven up until last month, but unfortunately I just can't help but notice the roof. There's a big bit of filler that started to peel up here, and also all around the sunroof. Even though it's rained overnight, you can still see all the bubbling up. It's really quite bad in this Sierra. It's going to need extensive work to that roof, which is going to be a big job. It's going to be quite a lot of money, and it's a shame because the estimate is quite reasonable, but I think it's reasonable because of the work that's going to need to be done. I know I'm focusing on the bad bits on this Sierra, but you can even see around this roof line here, it's just got filler and it's been repaired quite badly, unfortunately. So that is really going to need a lot of work, even all along the top here. The whole line's just rippled. In recent years, the vendor explains that the Sierra has had some seal repairs, and I can see that because there's some underseal which has basically been taken right up to this line where the trim is. So you've got nice bodywork here, but then down here it's just stone chip. Nice little self-tapper holding in the trim on this side as well. Inside, the Sierra's got a aftermarket steering wheel, and it's also got a Kenwood stereo that comes with it as well. It's got this grey cloth interior, which is quite tired as well, unfortunately. Fitted to the Sierra is its 2.9 injection V6 engine, which is said to be running and driving well. It does also come with MOT until March 2026, so even if you wanted to get a bit of enjoyment out of this until next year, it can still be driven on the roads. Obviously, make sure it's roadworthy first. But now for the estimate, it is £3,000 to £4,000, and let's be honest, that's going to need a lot of attention to the roof, but I don't know, is it worth that or will it go for less? Let's find out. Sierra started cheap at 1900. It's not going to be worth a lot. I was suggesting to Dad that someone just buy it and start drifting in it.
2,200 provisionally going twice. I get out of that provisional at £2,200 this for the last. That's provisional with you in at 2-2.
Let's take a look around the pickup then. It's a 2001 Vauxhall Brava DI. Now I actually quite like this. This is on the road, it's got MOT. Oh no, another one with a swimming pool in the boot. It's showing 126,000 miles. I'll tell you what, it looks really clean in here. This actually looks like a nice, presentable, clean cab. Doesn't smell too nice in there, but it's not too bad. You'd expect a truck like this, which has been working most of its life, to look a lot worse. Fitted to the Brava is a 2.5 litre turbocharged diesel engine, and this doesn't look too hard to work on at all. Rear wheel drive, nice easy setup. Just admiring the original brake lines are all running nice and neatly along the bulkheads. Doesn't look like a bad motor at all. It must have had quite a easy life. It looks like it's in the colour that sort of your local council might buy for going round and trimming the bushes and cutting the grass. Don't know if this has had a hard life or whether it's been restored to make it look nice and presentable now, but it does have that MOT and it's actually valid for a full year until October next year. The estimate doesn't seem like a lot of money for this. It looks like a tidy pickup. It's just £3,000 to £5,000.
£2,500 here now, then £2,500, 626, at £2,600, then £2,700 there now, then £2,700, then £2,700 there now, then £2,700, that equal to whoever's at £2,700 bid. Provisionally at £2,800, you're sure you're going to that? That's provisional with you at 2008.
It's escort van time. Now there was one in my last video when I featured the Saturday cars here at Anglia Car Auctions, and now on the Sunday cars there's another escort van. The difference being is this one's got an MOT, it's on the road until September 2026, so it's got a full year's ticket on it, but the estimate is considerably more as well. It's £3,000 to £4,000. But for that, there's a massive dent in this panel. There's a really naughty dent to this upper rear quarter panel, dent on the rear door. There's quite a bit of rust still that you can see just down here on the sill. And the same as a few of the cars, the undersill line's been brought right up to here. You can see the undersill lines there. And it, personally, I don't really like this because the undersill line is then brought right up on the door shut and then taped in along here. So yeah, it's just personal preference. Obviously someone's done the seals on this, but it would just look better if it didn't have that textured coating. It would be nice if it was just body colour and smooth. Oh, shock, look, the heater matrix is leaking, just like they all do in these Mark 6 Escort vans, but no one wants to replace them because you have to take the full dash out. There's 88,000 miles on the Escort van, so it hasn't done a terrible amount in its life. I think it might be an XBT van because it is in this light grey. The doors are starting to go as well. You can see that the rust is starting to come through on these door panels. Interior isn't too bad, to be honest. There's not many dents and dings in the van panels, which is really important because you don't want to have loads of dents and dings. It just looks terrible. And when people sort of chuck things in the back of these vans, they can often hit the sides, but this one's not bad. Under the bonnet, we find the 1.8 non-turbo diesel engine. I was just having a look, and under the scuttle sections is white, but someone's actually painted the bay black. Not quite sure why, but all the chassis legs, both of them are painted in black, and so is this front panel here, but it looks like it did used to be white. So yeah, someone's painted that along the line somewhere. The Escort van has had a fair few owners. It's got 11 previous keepers. It's certainly lived a life. It can go again though. It's running and driving, MOT'd on the road, ready for someone to put it to work. It even comes with its own bodge number plate. Anyway, it's offered as 3 to 4, so let's see what it makes.
Ross since 58, showing there's 1997 Ford Escort 55D van. They're 1800 pound, they're 1800, quite a bit, 1900, 2000, they're 2000 pound, they're 21, that 21 up in here, they're 2001, put it in there, 22, they're 2203, 23, 2300 pound is now going twice, it is provisional at 2300 pounds, it is now for the last. That's provisional with you, it's 2-3.
Well, that is the end of day 2 up at Anglia Car Auctions for their weekend-long sale. Now, you saw the Sunday cars in this video, but don't forget to go back and check out the cars that went under the hammer in day 1 on the Saturday. I posted a video last week, so I'll leave a link for that in the description below. It's a real good video, the same sort of format as this one. So if you enjoyed this, make sure you go back and watch Saturday, which was day 1 of the weekend-long sale. I did just want to touch on a couple of the motors that went under the hammer on the Sunday. So first off, that Renault 5 GT Turbo, which was the first car to feature in this video. What an example that was. Possibly the best in the UK? Who knows? That's what the auction house reckons it was, and to be fair, I do agree with them. Now that sold for just shy of £20,000 with fees. So yeah, incredible price. Another car I just wanted to touch on was that R33 Skyline. So that was estimated 10 to 15, but I've got it written down here. It actually sold just over £18,000 including fees. So that shot up past the estimate, even though it hadn't been on the road for a few years. It was in great condition. Someone could easily get that back on the road and MOT'd for next summer. So yeah, I enjoyed looking around that and seeing what it sold for when it went under the hammer. And I did also just want to touch on the 2 transits. So the Mark II Transit minibus, loved looking around that, really cool. As I did mention previously in the video, I saw that 3 years ago when I went to Anglia Car Auctions, where it sold for £7,000, or I think that was a hammer price. So it's probably about 7.7 with fees, roughly. And it then sold literally this weekend at Anglia Car Auctions for, how much was it? It was nearly £11,500. So when you take off the fees, the entry fee and buyer's fees and all that rubbish, they've made like £2,000 to £3,000 in a space of 3 years. All they've done is buy the Transit, store it and enter it back into the same auction, which is quite a good idea. I don't know how many cars this would work for, but yeah, I thought it was really good to see someone get some money out of their purchase. And lastly, I did just want to touch on that light blue Transit, the Mark 1 pickup. Now, unfortunately, although there was a lot of interest in it, it didn't sell and it remains available. I think it had a strong estimate and yeah, there just wasn't a buyer for it on the weekend. But as per usual, I really enjoyed the weekend up at Anglia Car Auctions. Now they have just released their auction dates for the classic sales for next year, and the first one is the weekend of the 31st of January and the 1st of February. Unfortunately, I won't be there because I'm going to be sunning it up down under in Australia. But if some of you guys can get along, it's really good, even just to window shop, to head up there, have a look at what's going under the hammer, and you can always find a bargain there. I truly believe if you look hard enough, you can grab yourself a bargain. And I did just want to quickly touch on the fees. So up at Anglia Car Auctions, it is 8% plus VAT on the hammer price. And there is a minimum price, I think there's a minimum fee of £160. But I've always found it fairly easy to buy there. And if you've got any questions, just get in contact with Anglia Car Auctions. Anyway, please do let me know what your favourite car that featured in this video was down in the comment section below. And as per usual, if there's a classic you want me to find or record, let me know as well. I'm more than happy to record all different makes and models of classic cars. I obviously gravitate towards classic Fords and hot hatches, but let me know if there's something you want me to find. Well, if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a like, and if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel to see more. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later.